Hey, 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 welcome back. Everybody's looking good. We are in August. Can you believe that already? I
Oh
just
man,
can't.
listen, it's almost end of August. Look,
Summer
it,
flew by.
it was just August 1st yesterday.
Yep, summer flew
Right.
by.
It's time to start planning for Christmas. Mm-mm. All of that.
So, how y'all doing, everybody?
I am
Doing
doing
good.
well, doing well, doing well. Ready to get this started. Again, I am the real referee. I am calling the fouls. Go ahead. Let's go around. What's going on, JG?
Hey, I'm back in the building, ready to get started again.
All
We,
right, let's pass it on down to Ross. What's going on?
Yeah, same here. Ready to get started. Ready to see what's going on out there and see how people feeling.
There you
well,
go. And hope they
well,
are feeling well and they're tuned in. And what we talk about on this channel is to help grow support. And we will add a little entertainment if you find it entertaining. But we are getting people closer and closer together. And if you are interested in being a part of our show, please inbox us, DM us. Our information is listed in our bio of how you can reach out to us. In the meantime, we just gonna go ahead and get in it. And today's topic is: do you only see things from your end? We're talking about relationships, ladies and men. Or do you work with your partner? How does that look? We're not having to be married. You can just be complicated. You can be in a situation. You can just be in anything. We're asking, what do you do? Are you a onesie? What's going on? Anybody, any opinions? How are we going to start this off? Because I have a lot to say because I put this out because I wanted to hear from men. I wanted to hear from women and they came in. They really came in. So I'll be sharing a couple things, a couple reasons, a couple ways. But let's go ahead and start with you. Oh, grown men's business. Let's hear
okay,
from you.
all
Yeah,
right, grown man
GG.
business. So, uh, who who am I in relationship? Well, I'm gonna tell you when you're in a relationship, um, you are operating. You are not operating from a me standpoint. Um, you should be operating on the we standpoint. Uh,
Hmm.
Being in a relationship doesn't mean that you lose yourself. You have choices, your words, your habits, your decisions. Even the silence can affect someone else because they might think something's going on, and you just probably just being silent. And just want to chill and stuff like that. But as far as what you asked, um, when I'm in a relationship, I always focus on the team aspect. I may not agree with you, but I respect you enough to hear you.
Hmm.
And that's the problem a lot of times. We so quick to jab back when we having a discussion. We're not really hearing. We're not really taking in because and be honest with you, I hate that discussion when I'm having a discussion with someone and they're long-winded because the type of person I am, I'm analytical. You're long-winded, so I'm trying to answer what you asked 5 minutes ago. You still talking, and I'm trying to compress what you said so I can answer that. You gotta be able to not only get your point across, but you got to be able to pause and let the other person give a rebuttal, so to speak. That's not a good word because that can turn to argument. But if you want communication commentary, you have to pause instead of just getting your point across, just so you can be heard. Um,
Hmm.
and I keep saying this: you got to be mature because sometimes maturity isn't realized that being right isn't more important than having a healthy relationship. Sometimes you gotta just bow down a little bit, and although you're right, you can feel the intensity. Sometimes you gotta just fall back and like, you know what, I'm going to let her have this. But a lot of people don't realize just the part that we don't talk about enough. You can't build with someone if you haven't took a good look at what you bring to a relationship. You know, you got to evaluate yourself. And it's easy to point, you know, red flags about me. I overthink everything. I act like I don't care what I do care. I push people away because I'm upset. I'm stubborn when I'm wrong. Sometimes my pride get in the way of simple saying I'm sorry. I can shut down instead of communicating, you know, but that's all about how the conversation go. Because if I'm having a conversation and if I feel that the conversation is going in a ridiculous path, I'm going to shut down. And that person may not be that person that shut down. They might be combative because you shut down, but they want to get their point across. And I'm like this. It's like in a meeting. Sometimes you got a tabletop stuff. So.
Okay,
But,
I hear you.
yeah,
You said a lot. You said a mouthful. And
Yeah.
I believe that a lot of people, I just don't want to say women, I'm just going to say people. Some people
Yes.
are wired
Right.
to say, hey, you said something and we going to finish this tonight.
Yeah.
And then some people say, hey, we're not going to go to bed angry. And then there are others to say, you know what? I'm going to leave you and I'm going to go be with somebody that's going to listen. Because sometimes I didn't learn until later, you know, call me a late bloomer in life.
Yeah.
But sometimes arguments are started so they can go.
Yeah. But you know what, as far as me being a grown man and my grown man perspective, I learned some stuff along the way. Because to me, being in a relationship requires more than just feelings. It requires self-awareness, communication, patience, accountability, compromise, and consistency. And compromise is necessary control. Compromise is saying, let's find something that works for the both of us, not just me.
Okay, that's very good. That is very good. Let's just find something that works for not just me, but for the both of us. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Just recently, I was told that I'm a bad kisser. Imagine that. At my age, I'm a bad kisser. Ain't nobody having no complaints, but at my age, I'm a bad kisser. And it's like, okay, let's double down on that. Maybe it's the way that you kiss today or who you've been kissing on makes it comfortable for you to kiss that way. And me, I'm more of the aggressor, passionate person, you know. And
you just want to fly
and then it leaves my lips. What woman finds that attractive? I just don't. I don't find that now my lipstick is all around my mouth like I got a goatee, a pink, red goatee, whatever I'm wearing. And then it's that form. And then it's the other form that he says, no, you need to dance in my mouth. If I got to focus and concentrate that our tongues are dancing, I think you've just been kissing somebody that's just not a passionate kisser. So instead of saying that I don't know how to kiss, what that person could have said is, this is my style of kissing.
Yes.
This is how I like to kiss.
Yes.
And then I've told that person, listen, I don't like that you leave my mouth full of my lipstick. I just applied it. You know, now if we're going to bed, you know, and we didn't close it in for the night, you know, make me a mess. But I don't want my face looking like that. So instead of me saying, I don't think that you can kiss right, I say, you know what? We both have styles of how we want to be passionate with each other, right? I'm not just going to learn your way because I'm the aggressor. I'm the passionate one. I want it all, right? And some days we're going to kiss like you. And some days we're going to kiss like me. But please don't say that now I have to, after all these years, because you're used to one way, I have to learn the way that you kiss.
But see, that's prime example, because it's the communication part, and it is how it was presented and perceived. And you're absolutely right. He could have came at you at a different way and say, "Hey, you know what? Let me show you how I do it." But for the simple fact that he told you you're not a good kisser, that immediately puts you on the defensive.
Defense.
And so you started finding things that, okay, I don't like to do it because it's this, that, and this. And you know what? If that would have been communicating, now let me ask you a question. Was this in a public setting, or was this out in the open, or was this at like, you know?
So this isn't like the first time. And I just said, you know what? Then we're just not going to kiss, because
Okay.
I like a way that I like, and you like a way that you like.
Yeah.
I want to be versatile. Why we have to be so? Only thing I want structure is my Lord, my money, and you know, my life. But when you are passionate with someone, why we have to, you know, schedule a time? Why we just have to have one way of doing things, you know, because it's supposed to be passionate. And I explained that to him, and his whole thing is because some people are, you know, just stubborn and stuck in one way. Well, he's stuck on, well, you just can't kiss because I don't want to do it his way.
Yeah.
So,
and because of that, you shut down, because the way it was communicated, and maturity has to set in, where to the point where he actually was stubborn and set in his ways, because he's like, I want it my way, no compromise. But when you're in a relationship, you have to compromise. And the thing about it is, you was willing to compromise because you was willing, hey, let's discuss it and we can work on it. But he was like, no. And that caused you to shut down. Maturity and communication. No, yeah.
And not only that, like, okay, so I pick things in a relationship, right? Because sometimes you just have to say, this person is going to be this way. This is how they want their plate set up, right? I get it. And I want my plate set up a certain way too. But I'm willing to bring in some of your ways in order to say, you know what? That's not so bad. Pick and choose your arguments. But this one right here. And I'm going to say it. Call me whatever. I'm going to say it. But when the performance ain't there, you better like how I kiss.
Hold on. Did you just do a spin? Oh, man. Ross, did you see that spin, though?
Yeah.
When the performance ain't there,
hold on.
you better enjoy this kiss.
Like,
Yeah, I know. It was a whole spin.
Yeah. Because it's the most passion I'm getting, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's saying. Like, you better pick and choose your battles here, you know? So I'm sorry, I digress. I'm gonna calm it down just a little. But just to hear from some people besides myself, I had an opportunity to meet someone that I haven't seen in 30 years when I went back home to visit. And let him know that, hey, you know, I'm doing a podcast and you've always been good in relationships. And he was like, I thought I was good in relationships too, until I just got married about 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, what's going on? It's like, she doesn't get it. She doesn't understand it. And I'm always willing to compromise. My voice is, you know, low. I'm at a good tone. My life is good. Yeah, I don't have the perfect story, but I have a story to where I know how to treat a woman. And she just ain't having it. We don't compromise on anything, from the grocery store bags, from who's gonna wash the dishes, who's gonna cook, who's gonna go pick up something from my mom, who's gonna pick up something from her mom. They don't have any, you know, children, so they're at the age to where it's just about them two. You know, who's gonna fix the bed, who's just the simple things that make life go around. They
Mhm.
can't come together on anything. And he said that some people are saying, wow, you just could have stayed single.
Yeah.
But I think we talked about this before. Why do we want to be in a relationship?
Mhm. Yeah.
Mm. Well, I'm gonna
What?
let before I let Ross chime in. I just want to tell you something in regards to that guy in your situation. A lot of people don't realize this, but you can have chemistry with someone and still lack the capacity to have a healthy relationship with them. Wanting love is one thing, but being emotionally mature enough to maintain is something else. Um, at this stage in life, I'm not looking for someone to complete me. I'm looking for someone I can build with me, and that's what you're doing at the same time. Sometimes you lead, sometimes they lead. Sometimes we compromise, sometimes we disagree, and sometimes one of us has to be grown up to say, "Hey, you know what? I hear you. Let's do it your way." And that was lacking in your scenario, and that's not a weakness, to bow down to somebody. It's a partnership because give and take. That's what relationship is all about. So, what do you think, Ross?
Y'all can keep flowing. I like the way y'all flowing. So, because y'all giving good examples, and you're seeing it from
Yeah,
both sides. So
yeah.
y'all keep flowing.
Okay. And to me, a partnership means don't keep a score every time.
Yeah,
Um,
that
you know,
measuring jar.
because
Mhm.
couples do keep score, and you know they do. I bowed down to him last time. Oh, you know what? I gotta get my piece in this time. You know what I'm saying? We don't weaponize vulnerability.
Mm.
We don't punish each other with silence. And you was leading that way because you was shutting down.
Yep.
And it may be because, and you said it earlier, you said it's not the first time. So he didn't take heed. So you like, oh, you know what? He didn't take heed to my emotions. So you know what? I'm not going to entertain what he's talking about.
Yep. That part.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
So
I did. I started to shut down. It's other ways that we can be, physically entwined with each other. And nope, because now I feel like every time I'm leaning into you, you have a complaint about my kiss.
oh yeah.
Mhm.
Every time that I want to be intimate with you, you have a complaint about how I'm gonna, kiss you. But then where do I get satisfied at?
Oh yeah. And you know what? We all mature. Grown man,
Mhm.
grown preacher man, grown woman. We all
Mhm.
mature. But two people should be able to come together and build something stronger, not two people looking for someone else to complete them, what they haven't worked on themselves. And that goes
Mhm.
back. A lot of people haven't did a deep dive into the self, and that's what tonight's all about.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true. How do you compromise to get along,
Yeah.
to exist, to coexist, to make the day just go just a little smoother? Because we can catch HE hell out here in this. Yeah, I forgot I'm grown. We can catch
Mhm.
hell out here in these streets.
And you know what? Have you ever met someone and or went out on a date and you spot red flags?
Yeah, immediately.
The crazy thing about that is, you know what? Can we honestly identify our own red flags before we start looking at other people's red flags?
Mhm.
Amen.
Mhm.
Amen to that. So glad you brought that up. So should we do a check before we check out the door? So
Well,
is
I'm gonna
there
say, and this is gonna sound deep though. Sometimes the person you need to work on in a relationship is guess what? You.
the man in the
Mhm.
mirror, huh?
Yes.
Yep.
Michael Jackson, whatnot. Yeah,
Yeah,
the man
yeah.
in the mirror.
Go ahead, do a spin again.
Mhm.
Oh, this is a good day. Yes, yes, yes. So
yeah. So that's just my take. Yeah. Now I'm sit back and learn a little bit.
right, we're about to get educated.
I wasn't gonna add too much. I mean, what y'all said was really good. We have to get the plank out our own eye before we try to get some plank out of somebody else, or a stick out of somebody else. Depends on the way you're looking at it. So, what y'all said was really good. It's first a form of communication. You got to be open to it, and what you said, it gave both sides of it. Both people can see it from different each other's side, then it makes sense. It make a lot of sense. So I don't have too much to add to it. Y'all flowing and y'all kind of getting the information out there on how people should see it. And if they see it, like you said, you won't be so drawn back because you know that that person's actually hearing you.
Yeah.
That's what most people want, is somebody to hear them.
And
Right, we
you
want to
know,
be understood.
yeah, I have a question. So, in regards to that, like when there's conflict, how does that coincide with what the Bible says?
You can't. It's something that you're not gonna stop. So that's gonna happen. It's not about stopping it. It's about who you are when it happened. So it's about what you said earlier, of having a different perspective and seeing it from somebody else's eyes
Mhm.
and looking at it, being like, you know what, I can work on that because I see how what you said makes sense.
Yeah.
I've been looking at things this way for a long time, but the way you explained it, I can switch it, and I can see what you're saying.
Mhm.
And then you said that you need to cut my part completely off. You
Mhm.
said sometimes this way and sometimes that way.
Yeah.
So that's all you can ask for.
And I seen where relationship stuff conflict affects the whole relationship because I was in a relationship. I'm just gonna put out there. I was married to the point where we said every night we was gonna pray before we went to bed together.
Hmm.
Pray before we went to bed together. That was all fine and dandy until there was conflict. I don't want to pray tonight. I don't want to pray with you. You need Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You need Jesus.
Hmm.
Not
So,
we
and
need Jesus, but
I've been
you
taught never go to bed
get angry.
angry
Yeah.
with your spouse because you
Yeah.
know what that can turn into. They wake up in the morning and I can carry
Hmm.
the next morning because I seen it, and it next thing you know, a whole week go by
Don't
and
go
you
by.
still at odds.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
ruminating. You
Yeah.
thinking
Yes,
about it. I
yes.
and then don't this the type of personality that I used to carry in relationships. Oh no, I should have said this. Oh
Oh
no,
yeah,
no, we're not done.
oh yeah,
I got
oh
this
yeah.
keep on going because I should have said that. Yeah. So
Hmm.
yeah, you're not gonna get anywhere with the black and white. You gotta leave interpretation for the gray areas.
Hmm.
And then, you know, we're human. And I don't think that partners are allowing that to happen and exist in relationships.
Hmm.
You know, we can't keep performing in a way that you're not even performing in.
Mhm.
So why would you expect it from your partner?
Hmm.
We're not asking the some people are asking the world, you know, and I'm learning that God blesses the child that has his or her own.
Mhm.
Now, I
Hmm.
didn't understand that because
Hmm.
I always feel yours is mine. It's mine.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Just gonna keep it 100.
Mhm.
However, throughout life, I'm learning that have your own. You know,
Oh yeah.
what and what someone brings in is an addition because they are to pour into you as well as you are pouring into them.
Hmm.
And that creates a balance. And I'm not saying that that's always the solution. I'm speaking from my own personal experience, and I'm hoping that I'm helping someone out there as well.
Mhm.
Have your own. You have these different age group of men that love the idea that you come to them without your own.
Mhm.
That creates a big other discussion that we can talk about later, but it's imbalanced because you are looking at someone who has more than you and you're glorifying them and you're not calling out the things that they are responsible for and helping you be a better person.
Mhm.
They're trying to manipulate the situation, control the situation because you're at a disadvantage.
Mhm.
And I've had those scenarios happen to me several times. It wasn't that I didn't have my own, it's just that I always date up.
Okay.
And when I do date up, of course, they do have more than I do. And I run myself into those complicated situations.
Mhm.
So if I can help anyone out there, just to understand, always have your own car, have your own job, have your own bank account, and don't go to the same church. 'Cause when it's time for the relationship to break up, um, yeah, you got to find yourself a new church. So have your own, ladies. Have your own. What about you, man? Should you walk into the relationship with your own to keep the conflict down and, able to kind of resolve problems just a little bit easier if you come in with your own?
You want me to go, John? You gonna go?
Go ahead, Ross.
Well, is what you said, not me, is we. So you're right about that. Is at the beginning of the Bible it says, you're supposed to forsake thy mother and thy father. And what that means is you don't not talk to them, of course. It means that you take and create your own. So whatever you want in your household, you create that. You don't have to look out, like you said, whatever works for you, that's works for you. You don't have to listen to no outside sources or voices to tell you no, how you living is wrong. If one person travels a couple times a year by themselves and they agree with that, that's fine. You created your own. If you travel together and you go everywhere together and you enjoy it, you create your own. Some people, the spouse might have, like, they might bowl or do something different. The other person don't want to do that.
Mhm.
They still creating their own. You just got to be comfortable with that. And you got to know that it's okay to create your own instead of trying to see, well, what's the name got this and they posted this and we need to do more of this. No, do you really desire that in your heart, or are you just seeing what somebody else got and covering it? You think that that's what you want, and then you get it, and now you don't like it because y'all gotta get on a plane every month to go somewhere.
Mhm.
You thought you did at first, but now you don't really like that. That's not you. So you have to create your own thing. You can go ahead, JG.
Oh no, that brings up a good subject. I wanted to address too. That's that social media relationship, and you just brought up a good point. Sometimes we got to ask somebody: are you more interested in impressing others with your relationship versus invested in relationship itself? Because there's a difference between having a relationship and performing a relationship. Some people are more concerned about how the relationship looks on social media, what their friends think, how cute they look together, where they go, what they post, and convinces everybody else that they're happy. While behind the scenes, they are communicating, compromising, listening, or actually building. Um, so it plays a part, and you're right, Ross. It's like most people, don't worry about what your girlfriend's relationship look like. You got to do what works for you, And my thing is, I'm a firm believer. It's okay to take guys and girls trip because it's that bonding. But if that guys and girls trip constitute someone acting off the hook, just like Ross would tell you. Remember when I started the happy hour takeover?
Mm-hmm.
My rule was we're gonna go hang out and bond as guys. No females are invited. None of the guys that we are happy hour with going to be trying to talk to females, because if somebody walk in, if I'm married, somebody walk in and see my boy talking to a female, guess what? We all was talking to a female in somebody's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm also a firm believer you gotta date each other too. You know, so it's okay to have your own thing, whether it's golf or something, to have a hobby, and allow that person to have that me time. But you got to make sure that you also putting that much energy into together time as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I just love us. We just so, we just so, yeah, we just getting people together. We just helping folks,
Mm-hmm.
because I just feel like there's a lot of information out there again. And if me taking a picture and posting it is creating some issues for you because I look happy, you looking at my outfit, which I probably could have just got, gonna take back.
No, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now you like, dang, dang, you see what she got on the day?
yeah.
You know,
She wore it for the gram.
right, right, right. So we really have to start to filter through what's real. But it's kind of hard with all this fake stuff coming out because you can take a picture and you can put this background. You don't even have to be there anymore,
Yeah, yeah. Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
you know,
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
and create this life that
yeah.
now other people are admiring. But we just really need to go back old school. Maybe
Yeah.
we just speaking to a certain age group. We speaking to the grown and sexy people that know how relationships work before all this social media. And you have to put the work in.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, date each other.
Yeah.
You have to. That's the book, Eat, Sex, Date, but
Mm-hmm.
people still want to be stuck there in the center. What order are we dating in?
Mhm.
You got to figure that out. What
Mm-hmm.
order do you want to date in? And the same as Ross said, you bring the direction how you want the relationship to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, if you've been going on trips, you like it, you stay going on trips. If you never liked going on trips and now all of a sudden it's getting upsetting to you and it's irritating that he's always jet setting, and that was never you. So now it's just time for you to create a path to compromise now
Mm-hmm.
so
Mhm.
that you and your partner can figure out a healthy balance, healthy relationships, and he's not going one way and you're coming the other direction because
Mm-hmm.
that never solves anything. Any closing remarks?
No, you
No.
said the key compromise,
Compromise.
and
Yep.
that's what we got to focus on. Just like the old thing where we used to keep up with the Joneses.
Yep. That's what I was
We
gonna
keeping up
bring
with the
up.
Joneses in relationships too, because what it looks like on the outside, we want that. The Joneses might have been going bankrupt, but we didn't know because they had the nice caddy, they had the nice
Mm-hmm.
house, and that's what we wanted. We envious of that. Don't be envious of that. Be envious of your love for each other.
I like
That's
that.
what you need to
Mm-hmm.
be envious of.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
Yeah.
got to say.
Yeah.
Grown man business.
Yeah.
Brown man, bit standing 10 toes down. Let's double down on that and run that back.
Well,
Any closing remarks, Ross?
uh, fish don't fry in the kitchen, beans don't burn on the grill. So
Whoa,
that'll help some people out to
Yeah.
understand that,
get
Because
upset
and you'll
because
get, yep,
because
yep,
now we're in the big leagues.
yep, yep. So you understand it one day, hopefully. And for the young people, go check it out. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Yes.
that's all I got to say.
All right. I
Yeah.
think we can call it. Let's go ahead and close out, Ross.
Yep, I'm finna get us together now. So everybody know I do this when we close out. And it's a 60 seconds where I believe that, if you meditate at least 60 seconds throughout the day or at least once a day, you can kind of clear some of them thoughts that's been, just sitting in your mind. So we're gonna get started. right.
All right. Again, if you like what we are saying and speaking, you can always drop us your email information. We'll reach out to you and you may be a part of our podcast. All right.
All right.
Thank you so much again. Peace.
All right, peace, everybody.
All right.